Hello there, my dear. Are you feeling stuck with writer's block? Then you've arrived in the right place with the right video. Today we're going to do an oracle card reading to support us with moving through writer's block. And if you've watched my previous video, really to help you be able to move through this particular moment in which you're lost in your writing process. So I can't wait to see what the cards reveal. Let's begin. So I've already set our intention for the reading today. I've shuffled the cards and I'm just gonna let them come forward. I usually try to decide how many cards are going to be chosen in advance, and it never goes according to plan, so I've released it. I am pulling from Healing the Inner Child Oracle, which is this beautiful, beautiful deck from Hay House and by Nina Legendre. So here we go. I'm being called to pull 3 cards. And the first card is friendship. Oh my God. I kept looking at the card wondering what that big white structure was. And it looks like a beautiful, cozy nook. And there are 2 people in there with books. And immediately when I saw the word friendship, I was like, oh, right. Because when we're lost or we're stuck or you feel blocked with your writing, you shouldn't stay alone. You should probably go find someone who will support you, or will you can just, and that person can support you, or those group of people can support you in moving through it, or they just can be a support, right? I think we always imagine that we need all kinds of help, and the help we need is this very particular kind of help, and only the people who do what we're doing in the way that we're doing it can help us. And I call hogwash on all of it. It's coming through nice and clear. All you need is someone who you love and care for deeply, who respects you and what you're doing. And sometimes just having that, being able to go to that source every once in a while, more than enough to help you move through your writer's block. They're also sharing there might be different pockets of communities that you go into, right? So they're sharing with me that, like, yeah, I go to my partner at certain moments in the writing process. I go to a community of writers. I go to a mentor, right? So it's important for you to have different spaces for which you can be fed to be moving through your writing project at any given time. So do you have all those spaces? Because they're all equally important and give you something different at different junctures of the writing process. Second card is trauma. Ooh, yeah. Hmm. Something's coming up where they're sharing that we would like to believe that when we're given this project, this writing project to put out in the world, that it's going to be like this straight path. And that it's not going to require anything but like joy and excitement because we're excited to do the thing that we can't believe we've been gifted the time and the ability to do because we're wonderful humans. And we finally decided to move forward with it. And the truth is that it's actually a lot like the billowing clouds that are happening in the card, which is like there's a lot of shit to move through, right? If you've been given something to write and share with the world, it's not just because it's going to be like easy to do. It's because it's been given to you so that you can go on a journey with it to resolve whatever you're here to resolve in order to put that book or that project or whatever it is out in the world. And when you can enter into the writing process and account for that, then you can slow down with your writer's block and be like, oh, like what is the thing that's trying to be resolved within me right now as I encounter this particular moment in which I can't write the way that I'd imagined I would. The third card, shadow. Continuing with this thread from the trauma, right? That, like, what is the thing that you're not seeing because it would reveal something to you that you're not always happy to see, right? Because the shadow is that other part of us, right? That's true, that gets to be loved and cared for and also gets to be acknowledged, right? Like that shadow part of us is the parts of us that we don't want people to always see And in my heart, what I'm hearing and also sensing is that that's usually the thing that you're here to tell people, is the thing that you're scared to share, is the thing you're probably most equipped to share. I say this often in a lot of different content, and it's because I believe it and I know it to be true. And these components of us that we have shamed, that we've made to be certain things, they're not. They're just equally important as the light part of us. They inform our beautiful gifts in wonderful ways. And it would be a disservice for you to move through your writing project, not accounting for the ways that it's also your responsibility to show that part of yourself to people. Ooh, they're calling on me to select one card from the Sisterhood of the Seers Oracle, which just I don't even know if it's out yet, but it's so beautiful. These cards are from Hay House, of course, because I'm part of their card deck club. Um, and they're saying there's one card in here that is an action card that will help you and us and the collective consider, like, what are the next, like, what's the next best action step? They're saying there's two action step cards, and one of them I'm not meant to channel, but instead to let you see, and then I'm meant to read the entry from the book, the guidebook. Hmm. All right. So the first card here for our action step is your big dream. The moment I flipped over this card, I just saw the roses. And then when I saw the word dream, I was like, oh, that's the action we have to take. When we're in the midst of writer's block or when we're lost, we can forget the big dream and the love that we have for the writing project that we know we've committed our time to. And so they're telling you an anchor back into that dream. Go back to it, nurture it, nourish it, because it's going to feed you for how to get back into the writing. Then the last card is call back your power, if that lightning doesn't say enough. So I am not meant to channel that message. They say I am being called to read out loud the entry for the card in the guidebook. Card 15, call back your power. Essential meanings: boundaries, clearing obstacles, decluttering your spaces, energetic, physical, and emotional clearing, magnetic realignment. So I'm also being called to remind you, like, this is an action card, and they're calling you to use it in order to figure out how to move forward in your next step for your writing project. So the first one was like, ooh, figure out how to anchor into the dream and the love that you have for this project. What actions, what practices, what supportive people will help you, like, get back there. That's one action step towards that. This is the second one, the message. Call back your power from all time and places. You can do this by switching off all your electronic devices, lighting some candles, meditating for 5 minutes before you begin, and then actively saying, I call back my energy from all time and places for my highest good. Repeat this 3 times at a minimum, or as many times as you feel is necessary. Then remain still to see if any intuitive insights arise. These inner insights are highly illuminating and will show you what you need to see. Sticky situations in life, old pains and resentments leave energy traces. And when you call back your power, you call back your energy to return to you whole. Now is the time for this kind of practice. Meditate, clear your energy, and then call back your energetic power. Do this practice as often as necessary, and especially if you feel tired often. Your energy is worth protecting and calling back to you. Equally, where are you giving your energy to freely? Perhaps on social media, television, or people who don't value you. These things use your energy and result in a lack of lucidity. Your attention is your greatest asset. Don't give it to things that seek to empower you rather than empower you. This card also comes to ask you to reflect on your boundaries. Are they healthy and serving you? You can reclaim your power and you will be so glad you did. The affirmation here is I call back my power from all time and places, and I am whole. So I'm being called to do a quick exercise with you as we conclude the reading. I don't always do this, but That card really called me to it. So if it feels good and true and right for you, definitely just join me for what I call a mindful moment. So I'm going to give you like 3 deep breaths, and then I'm just going to ask you to see what your heart is seeking for you to know as a result, as it refers to calling back your power. So if it feels good to you, you can do some stretching, whatever calls to you. Take a deep breath in through your nose, and then exhale. And I always encourage people to close their eyes as they do these because there's so much that our eyes are constantly engaging with that just taking a moment to close the eyes and take 3 deep breaths like is one of the most quickest and easiest way to ascertain what's going on and also just be able to call your energy back. So take another deep breath in with your eyes closed, and then exhale. Another deep breath in, and then exhale. And I like to use the breath to call in the energy. So when you take a deep breath in, imagine all that energy coming back into you that you might have left in different times, different places with different people. And so take a deep breath in through your nose, taking all that energy you might have left in other spaces and places and with other people. Deep breath in, and then exhale. So allowing yourself to release whatever doesn't serve you at this moment. Just allow yourself to arrive here, however you are, whatever's passing through your mind, whatever's on your heart, whatever sensations are in your body. Just taking a moment to notice them and be with them, acknowledge them. And when you feel ready, take another deep breath in. And as you exhale, you're going to notice, are there any messages from your heart? Any places in your life, any relationships where you need to work on calling back your power? Or it might be supportive to your writing project to set certain boundaries, create new practices, anything that'll help you feel anchored into being able to do it the way that you want to do it. Just taking a moment to be grateful for whatever came forward. And together we'll take a deep breath in. And then exhale. You can open your eyes and join me back here. So I'm going to summarize our reading for us really quickly, just to remind you of the powerful cards that came forward today to support us with writer's block and being lost in the writing process. And so the first one is find your people, surround yourself with them, and return to them often, regularly. Put it on your calendar. They're showing me images of like build it in so that you're not waiting until you're like at absolute depletion to be like, oh, I can't get anything on the page. Like, what do I do now? But that you always have these spaces and these places in your calendar where you know you'll get back to it because you're with the people that help you do that. A kind reminder that the project you're here to make is also here to make you. And so it may require you to move through some difficult things. It's not a linear path. As you committed to it, that means it's going to make you anew. It's going to teach you new things about writing, about the topic that you're writing about, anything. And so it's not just meant to be created, you're also meant to learn and to move through some difficulties. Third, shadow. Remembering that the part of you that you're most ashamed to share in the writing that you're working on is probably the one that most people need to hear so that they can also move out of the shame of this part of themselves that we don't need to have shame about. We're all human, right? These are our action cards. So, your big dream, anchor back into it, figure out a practice, do some journaling that lets you remind yourself, like, why am I doing this thing? Why am I in the middle of this? Right? Because when we're stuck, we can get like so close to it and we can be like really, 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 really tiny and this card is like telling you to come back and get a view of the vision that you decided you wanted to bring to life, right? Because when you get anchored into that, you'll get back to writing before you know it. The other action card is call back your power. And so in this moment, you might be looking at the writing and thinking it has power over you rather than working in connection with writing to create your project, right? Because that's what you're here to do. You're here to partner with writing, co create it with the divine. And right now, as you're working through this particular writer's block, you've given the power to other people. You've given and extinguished yourself. So now you're here and you're tired. And so, how can you call that power back and remind yourself, like, you're here to do amazing shit, yo? You're going to do it no matter what happens at this moment, whether you get this down on the page today or tomorrow, you've signed up to do it because you know you're here to do it and you love it. And so it's just inevitable. It will get done, right? If you're new to my channel, hi there, my dear. I'm Dr. Raquel, and I help visionary women of color who carry so much for their communities move from only writing what's expected, educational, professional, polished writing, to courageously sharing the personal stories that reflect their full lived experience so they can inspire others and make the impact they know they're here to make. If you appreciated gathering some spiritual insights on writer's block and now you feel really ready to understand in a more tangible way what writer's block is, then go watch my next video where I explain what I believe writer's block actually is, and why changing your perspective on it is going to change your whole approach to being able to move through it with so much love, grace, and ease. I'll see you there.